to the core of what this Rolling Thunder thing is all about. And I don't have a clue, because it's about nothing. It's just something that happened 40 years ago.
Bob Dylan vanished, and the silence was deafening. For 7 years, he stayed off the stage, leaving fans puzzled. Some blamed burnout, others whispered about a secret illness. The truth? Still a mystery. But now, a shocking health update has thrown his family and loyal followers into panic. What is the update? What's the next step for his family members? Join us as we explore how Bob Dylan's family are preparing their goodbyes after a tragic health battle. Bob's health battle. Bob's long health battle started on July 29, 1966, with a motorcycle crash near Woodstock, New York. The truth about the incident remains hidden due to no hospital record, though injuries, including a broken vertebrae, were reported. This led him to cancel his planned tour and lay low for 7 years. In his 2004 autobiography, Dylan admitted he was involved in a motorcycle accident where he sustained injuries, but he recovered, and he just decided to stay out of the limelight for a while. Then was his battle with substance misuse, which came into limelight during his 1966 tour. It was exposed by a filmmaker on the tour with him. It was revealed that he was taking lots of amphetamine and other drugs. Dylan admitted to this claim a few years later in an interview in 1969. He said he was on the tour for 5 years and had to stay on substance to keep going, not to get inspiration for his songs. His alcohol dependency was also exposed via tapes from his road manager and a memoir his son Jacob made called Another Side of Dylan. It was revealed that Dylan was drunk and he passed out for an hour on the day he met with the Beatles. However, Dylan did quit alcohol and substance misuse after battling with depression and thoughts of self-harm. In May 1997, Bob Dylan feared for his life as he thought he was having a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital in pain. There he was diagnosed with histoplasmosis pericarditis, a rare infection caused by inhaling fungal spores. Once inhaled, the spores spread through the lungs, causing the air sacs to be filled with fluids. Dylan's diagnosis revealed it was in an advanced stage, as it had inflamed the protective lining of his heart, leaving it vulnerable. He was treated within weeks and became stable. This experience led him to release an album, Time Out of Mind, 4 months after he left the hospital. The album became popular and was reissued 25 years later as Dylan's Death Album. Dylan hasn't been in any recent health challenges, except for old age creeping up on him. At 88 years, he's still active on his music tours, though his stamina and agility is waning, yet he kept his music career intact. Still, stories and news about Bob Dylan continue to make waves in the music world. Though talented and known for his several tours, one question remains: how did he start? What made him evergreen in the folk's world? The music giant. Dylan started his full music career in 1961 at the age of 19 when he relocated to New York to make a mark in the music industry. His big break came during the 1965 Newport Folk Festival, where he captured the hearts of many with his voice and strings. From then on, he started releasing songs and going on tours steadily till his performances earned the nickname The Never-Ending Tour. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal in December 2022, he explained that he continues to tour to stay anonymous and still be a member of society. Dylan has released over 36 studio albums and won his first solo Grammy Award in 1979 for Best Rock Vocal Performance Male with the song Gotta Serve Somebody. In 1991, Dylan also received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, then an Academy Award in 2010 for Best Original Song in Wonder Boys. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988, the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1982, and the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2002. Dylan was also honored with the Kennedy Center Honors in 1997, the National Medal of Arts in 2009, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2012. Dylan conducted a world tour, Rough and Rowdy Ways, which started in 2021 to support his 2020 album. The tour continues through November 2024. In 2023, he released an album that featured reimagined versions of older songs, called Shadow Kingdom. Overall, he won 10 Grammy Awards, awarded a Pulitzer Prize Special Citation in 2008, and the 2016 Nobel Prize in Literature. He's one of the best-selling musicians of all time, with over 125 million records sold. He has been active in music for nearly 70 years. He influenced folk music with poetic and classical literature lyrics. Two of his songs, Blowing in the Wind, 1963 and The Times They Are A-Changing, 1964 became anthems for civil rights and the anti-war movement. Even though Bob has carved a niche for himself, there were still controversies about him. These were struggles every music celebrity faced, but were they avoidable? What were these controversies? How have they affected Dylan? Controversies around fame. Just as every other face in the light, Bob Dylan had its share of controversies he struggled with throughout his career. The earliest was his decision to shift to making electric rock music. He produced albums with this new style, but going live with it at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965 led to disaster as his decision was met with boos from the crowd, with his fans feeling he had betrayed the folk music tradition. Another was several speculations about his Nobel Prize win in 2016. This award met with mixed reactions from fans and critics. Some felt he didn't deserve the award because he was already a known music figure. Plus, his influence can't be compared to previous awardees like William Faulkner, while some felt it would be a boost to his career. However, the Nobel Prize website stated that Dylan was rewarded for creating poetic expressions with his lyrics. In 2020, Dylan made a move his fans felt betrayed. While some see it as a move to secure his estate's financial future, he sold his entire songwriting catalog to Universal Music for $400 million. And a year later, he sold his master recordings to Sony Music for $200 million. In 2023, a lawsuit was filed against Bob Dylan, accusing him of misconduct and using medication to subdue the victim, a 12-year-old girl in 1965. Bob was accused of forming a relationship with the minor to get intimate with her. The lawsuit also stated that the abuse took place at Dylan's apartment multiple times, at the Manhattan landmark, Hotel Chelsea, in April and May 1965. While Dylan's attorney described the lawsuit as a lawyer-driven shame, the attorney for the plaintiff did not respond to requests for comment. It was also discovered that the evidence might have been destroyed by the plaintiff's lawyer. However, the judge in charge of the case, Catherine Polk-Failla, dismissed the case and closed it permanently. Concerning his work of art, Bob Dylan was accused of using an auto pen to sign limited edition copies of his book, The Philosophy of Modern Song, which were marketed as hand-signed. The fans felt betrayed as they noticed identical signatures on the books. Dylan admitted it was an error in judgment, offered an apology, and expressed the desire to make things right. In a Facebook statement, he explained that a severe bout of vertigo made it difficult for him to hand-sign the books. Plus, he was assured that the use of an auto pen was common in the industry. However, the publisher, Simon & Schuster, also confirmed the signatures were mechanically done and offered a full refund to buyers. The books were sold for $599 per copy. Even with his legacy in the music industry, Dylan still dabbles in the entertainment world, and the question is, what did he have to offer? Will he be successful? Does he have the creativity to balance it? Movie and art prowess. A movie was written about his lifestyle, with much focus on his early days in music, titled A Complete Unknown. The movie revealed a lot about his relationship with giants in the music world, such as Pete Seeger, the music albums he produced, and his romance stories, especially with Joan Baez and Sylvia Russo. It covered 4 years of his life and how he rose to fame in the music world. The film included his music performance at the Newport Folk Festival, where he shocked the crowd and exchanged his acoustic sets for rock and roll. Though the film ended in 1965, it ended in chaos when Dylan was involved in a motorcycle accident. It was later released in 2024. Though the movie earned worldwide acclaim, it still didn't give an accurate timeline and storyline about Bob Dylan's life. Some storylines never happened, while some happened with different timelines. The movie left out some significant stories about Dylan, such as his marriage and musical tours. Dylan also dabbled in art, painting, and writing. He published 9 books of painting and drawings, and his artwork has graced major art galleries. His first book, Tarantula, was a collection of unconnected writing and was published in 1971. He also wrote Chronicles Volume 1, which stayed on the New York bestseller list for 19 weeks. His music was known to be laced with poetic and literary lyrics, which also made him produce an anthology of his lyrics and poetry, writings, and drawings. His songs were used in several movies and events, while he graced several platforms to perform. A notable one was when he was invited to perform for the Pope. Another example was in 1973, when he appeared and contributed to the soundtrack of the film Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, directed by producer Sam Peckinpah. Dylan went on to write, direct, and produce several movies and became the subject of several documentaries. He also appeared in films such as Ronaldo and Clara, Masked and Anonymous, Eat the Document, I Am Not There, and Hearts of Fire, etc. He also featured in documentaries and concert films such as Don't Look Back, which showcased Dylan's tour of England in 1965, and Rolling Thunder Review, Bob Dylan's story by Martin Scorsese. Still, the media and fans are interested in any news about this music enigma. So the question this time is about his love relationships. Who was his true love? Did he find love? Was Dylan married or not? Dylan's love relationships. Bob Dylan was rumored to be in a different love relationship with different individuals at different points in his life. The one that captured the attention of the media was his relationship with his music partner Joan Baez and political activist Slavy Russo. Bob and Baez started their music collaboration and relationship in the early 1960s. Baez was a known figure in the music street before their relationship started. Joan was charmed by one of Bob's performances and invited him on stage at the Newport Folk Festival. From then, they were featured in several duets. Their relationship lasted till 1965 when Bob called it quits, the breakup inspired Baez's 1975 hit song Diamonds and Rust. In referring back to the relationship in an interview in 2023, Baez revealed that Dylan has forgiven her. She added that they were in their early 20s and didn't have enough wisdom to handle the relationship. They didn't reconnect after their split, but they both continued their music career separately. Meanwhile, Russo and Dylan had an on and off relationship for years due to disapproval from her parents, till the relationship ended in the mid-1960s. Russo was not only his love interest, but also influenced his music career by inspiring him to write political songs. However, Dylan moved on to marry his first wife, Sarah Lowndes, quietly on November 22, 1965, because she was already with their first child, Jessie. Dylan adopted a daughter, whom Sarah had from a previous marriage. The family got bigger for the next 4 years with 3 more children, Anna, Sam, and Jacob. They raised their family quietly in Woodstock for years before relocating to Malibu, California in 1974. However, their marriage began to unravel the following year when Dylan decided to take art classes with artist Norman Rabin. In an interview, Dylan recalled that when he got home after his classes, his wife changed and never did understand him since that day. Bob and Sarah continued to live together till they finally got divorced in 1977, though they remained committed to co-parenting their children, a fact their youngest son, Jacob, later confirmed. After a decade, Dylan went on to welcome a child. Desire Dennis Dylan with his backup singer Carolyn Dennis on January 31, 1986. Before they tied the knot 5 months later, however, their marriage led to separation in 1992. The news about their marriage and daughter was kept secret until 2001. Since then, he has not been involved in any public relationship. Though the world knows about Dylan's musical achievements, a question still lingers in the hearts of many. Who was Bob Dylan before fame? Where did he grow up, and what was his background in music? Dylan's small beginning. The famous folk singer and songwriter was born Robert Zimmerman in 1941 in Hibbing, Minnesota. His father and uncle owned a joint venture called Zimmerman Furniture and Appliance Company. He got attracted to the music of Hank Williams, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, which led him to get his first guitar in 1955 at the age of 14. When he entered high school, he spearheaded several musical bands and played in a series of rock and roll bands. In 1959, he played piano for a rising pop star, Bobby Vee, before enrolling at the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. While schooling, he came across his mentor, the folk singer Woody Guthrie, who influenced him to start performing folk music in coffee shops. It was during this time he adopted the name Dylan. The desire to meet with Guthrie led him to relocate to New York City in January 1961. He quickly joined the pool and started performing at Gerda's Folk City in Greenwich Village, where he charmed the hearts of many who in turn provided meals and shelter for him. Dylan was scouted by John Hammond after Robert Shelton's laudatory New York Times review of one of his live shows and was signed to Columbia Records. Dylan's first album, released in March 1962, met with mixed reviews, but his second album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, released in 1963, registered his quirky voice in the hearts of youths and affected several families culturally. That same year, he appeared for the first time at the Newport Folk Festival, where he was acknowledged as the King of Folk Music. Will the world ever forget Bob Dylan? Will his legacy ever be replaced? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting videos. Also, click on the video on your screen, and you will enjoy it.